touch on. For instance,
Uh-oh.
Morgan and Everett and you wanted to meet up and discuss something. Something about cult symbols.
Oh, right.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
And that never happened.
I definitely do remember this. 100%.
We started a conversation in
remember this.
the restaurant about, hypothetically, do you remember this article? What would it mean if we found something like that? And then Bart,
Yeah, hypothetically. Okay.
Bart drew it from memory.
Yeah, and it was fine.
And it was totally fine. No problem.
Nothing caught on fire spontaneously.
Should probably draw
Which
it
was
in the
weird,
lead.
actually. But you learn to lean into it. The weird, that is.
Mm.
Not the fire.
No, don't lean into the fire.
Get away from the fire. No, fire bad.
Mm.
That's the
No,
first time we
fire
found.
good.
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys have communicated and have decided to meet up at the tea house that I don't think I gave it a name, but the tea house that was previously stated in this campaign.
The tea house that everybody's going to.
You might have, but I don't want to scroll back far enough to find it.
I don't believe I ever did give it a name. I think it was just a generic one because Lester needed to find.
Yep. I think we have avoided giving this place a name every time that it's been mentioned.
Names are the hardest thing to come up with.
Is this thing searchable?
Yep.
Maybe coincidentally, no one who's been there associated with the party has ever spoken the language that the name is in.
True.
Which would mean that the name was
It's
not in
Yeah,
Cantonese.
I'm very happy
I
about
never
that.
decided to bother to look at it.
Do you remember when I made this character?
Oh, that's cool.
This one is the chibi little tower with the eye on the top.
Nice.
I'm like trying to see if I took
And then
a
this
picture
one
of
is
something.
the helm.
Nice.
The Witch King's helm.
Oh, jeez, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that.
No, I don't think I took a picture of it. That would have made too much sense.
Yep.
Did somehow wind up in that file of
We can make it digital.
We'll find the
Is that
character
kind of
sheet.
like you, Steve?
We definitely
Emergency sushi?
I was supposed to have it for lunch, then I forgot about it, and then dinner was supposed to happen, and then
Was
action
it
happened.
with Steve?
Nope.
Those are mage characters.
They
Yeah,
sure
they
are.
That's all my mage stuff.
All?
Yep.
Why do you have 3 character sheets?
Don't worry
I'd
about
like
it.
to know.
I would.
I
Yeah.
see why that might be worrisome.
Okay, so we are at
Don't worry about it.
the tea house.
I'm worried as it so happens.
You guys have a private booth.
Who's there?
It is Everett, Morgan, and would Lester like to be there?
At the private tea house?
Yeah.
What's the purpose for being here? I apologize. Took here.
Showing Morgan Pennyfeather the cultist robes and knives.
Can you say that again and clearer or closer to the...
Showing Morgan Pennyfeather the cultist robes and knives.
Ah, okay. I mean, was there anything that I had? I think I had a knife, so yeah, I'd probably be there. Like, I think I had another knife.
You had the big cultist knife, and Specs had one of the hidden
Yeah, I
knives.
had the ritual one, and Specs had the one for murdering people.
Yep.
Pretty explicit, yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
Of all the knives I want to be stabbed with, I want to be stabbed with that one the least.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know if that one was for murdering people or sacrificing
This
people.
meeting is the next day?
It's not even particularly good for murdering
This
people. It would be
meeting
very good for
was
making sure that they die painfully.
At some point during
with
the week.
maximum blood extraction.
You guys wanted it to be the next day, but you wanted it to be directly after the interview, but Lester had other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
And beyond that, it was up in the air. It never got addressed again.
Okay. So we have our booth. It's private.
Yep.
Everybody's got some delightful tea.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming it would be horribly offensive to order Earl Grey hot.
No Earl Grey even exists yet. It's a relatively modern preparation.
Yeah, that's also just
Coffee.
a start
Hot.
reference.
I get that, but like, you know.
Tea Earl Grey hot.
You guys are left alone in there. Who has the robe? Is it Lester or Everett?
I think Everett had it.
Okay. Would you like a description of it again?
Sure.
So, as you are like bundling up the robe to bring it to this meeting, is when you bump up against one of the pockets, and inside the pocket is a tin.
Yes.
It is relatively unmarked and looks as though it was repurposed from a different source. But
It's full of tobacco, maybe.
I open it.
do you open it?
I would.
All right. Are you?
I
So this
allow
is in
Bart
the,
to open it.
okay. So
I don't argue. I always have to check with you.
the smell of iron and lavender emanates from it.
Ooh.
Don't worry, I don't want to smoke that.
Yeah, no. It was,
I mean, I do.
I
Well,
will
where-
restate.
You know, it's a good way to
Please
infuse
don't
a leaf
smoke
with
the cult
iron.
leaf.
That's definitely what I imagine Morgan would smoke.
I like that.
So
Blood.
the robe, the color of a fresh bruise, lies before you,
Also that.
hemmed in gold thread and riddled with odd symbols and script. Anytime you look away, the shapes seem to move and writhe until you look back at them. Inside is lined with velvet, ensuring the wearer is comfortable and warm in the dank underparts of the city. No maker's mark is stitched into the fabric that you can see.
Well, that's downright irresponsible.
Mm-hmm.
Only if you want to make money.
So the color also seems to change depending on what angle it's at. It's not a
Is
pearl.
it still bruise colored?
Yes, it's not a pearlescent sheen, but it does emanate the inconsistency of a
Imagine
bruise.
pearlescent, but instead of shimmering through a bunch of primary colors, it shimmers through all the different colors a bruise can be.
You
Yeah.
actually do that
Bruise pearl.
with like normal thread. To be honest, like you have to like change if it's a weave. You have to change how the floats are for the warp and the weft. But you can also do that with knitting by like forcing all of the pearl rows to be in one color and all of the knit rows to be in another color. And you can actually make kind of like, you remember like the hologram that had like a texture? Where
Yeah,
it would squeak
yeah,
if you
yeah.
put your thumb on it? You can literally knit that and hide a whole image.
In like the
Except for if you're looking at it at the corner, at like from like the side. But if you
Oh,
look
cool.
straight at it, you can't see it.
That's cool.
That's really cool.
Right? It's called illusion knitting, and it's absolutely fucking sick.
And it has to have as cool a name as that, of course.
Right?
It's so
Also,
cool.
you
Illusory
haven't
knitting.
you haven't been on your tour of portraits yet, so you haven't gained the information of George Caldwell yet.
That I'm going to be there.
No. So one of the things,
Don't get
one of the
hit, your
clues that you
illusory knit will
got
disappear.
previously in
For a
this
second there, I forgot. I
last
mixed up
time at the
George
beginning of the
Caldwell
campaign.
with George Straff.
was George Caldwell
very
is a
different
name
Georges.
Yes.
that
Probably.
is tied to a
Assumably.
bunch of
We
disappearances.
don't know for
Oh,
a fact
okay.
that George Caldwell isn't also a cougar.
Hi, Mr. Stedman.
Mr. Stedman. Stay away from my meal.
Okay.
Oh,
So like, you know,
Lexi took the stool that we used to keep Stedman out of the food container. Buddy. buddy. You know you're not allowed to.
You and I both know you
All right.
shouldn't be
So
doing that.
while this is happening,
So you guys are like gathering up the robe and knives, getting ready to go to the tea house. And then
how is
I-
Morgan preparing?
to go to the tea house?
Yeah,
I mean, like,
this is an interview, probably off the books.
it is definitely off the books because I remember noticing that somebody drew the symbol
That you didn't include in the article.
that I didn't include in the article because we knew it would be unprintable.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they didn't tell me that. So, right now we're enjoying the polite fiction that this is all hypothetical.
Yep. Still hypothetical.
Well, it was hypothetical in the restaurant. Once we get to the tea house, it will stop being hypothetical.
It's hypothetical until
As
you're
soon as
halfway
that
down.
door closes,
Yeah.
things become literal.
Oh
It opens with...
No, we leave that door open.
So remember that hypothetical question I asked at dinner?
So, I'm
Everett, known for his
allowing the
subtlety and
polite
finesse.
fiction to continue to exist, and I continue doing portraiture to, I
And
guess,
is a master of espionage and disguise. Thank you very much.
I guess, like, you know, have portraits
Everyone still
available
thinks
for
his name is
B-roll,
Cornelius.
That's true.
or,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. 100%.
trying to get better at it and also lose less pocket money on film.
Yes.
The people who put their dishes in the sink, were they? Which direction?
Right hand sink.
I followed other people like a sheep.
I had forgotten.
It was
Man,
up or down.
Not in there eating.
that one was close.
But
Those 9s need to be 10s. That 11 needs to be a 12. And then
let's
that's
do
shiny.
not tempt fate
Fair enough.
Okay.
when dumb cats are involved.
Oh, the 1 needs to be a 2. Not 11 and 12. Doesn't matter.
Oh, is that your notebook now?
Okay, so...
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not like I'm using
Or
it.
so, do we want to abstract this meeting, or do we want to make it a scene?
I'm fine either way because I'm assuming Ashton doesn't actually have all the knowledge about this cult.
Yes.
Yeah, I would say that we could probably just abstract it.
Okay.
Like, if Ashton had supplied the supplement for this cult, then it would be a fun scene. But
Fair enough.
since it's
Maybe.
Gil has the knowledge,
All right. So, in this meeting, you three are you give the information, and Morgan does their best to fill you in on what they know about cults. They know that they tend to fill up the underlayers of things. They do their best to stay hidden. While the run-of-the-mill cultists aren't really known for their attack prowess, they do tend to have a little bit better, a little bit more sneaky than your average person. They're used to going out at night, used to avoiding people, used to hiding what they do better than the average individual. But cult leaders, those people who have contacted the Reckoners and their ilk,
the what?
don't worry about it.
I think Effort's worrying.
The divine, the supernatural.
Okay.
Some of them have gained powers, able to tap into the energy and weirdness of that has infused the world since the Great Quake,
Heathens.
and have been able to, and are sometimes able to channel that into various things.
Definitely not like anything that we do at all.
No,
Nope.
of course.
No.
Unsavory, that.
Mm-hmm.
Shut up.
Okay. So, is there any other information that you guys would like? Probably should have made you roll for that, but whatever.
I thought we, like, gave that one because I wrote the article.
Yes, fair.
We had a lore reason for me to know that.
Yeah.
The role was in the past.
Yep.
Onwards, Aoshima.
So, is there any other information that you guys would like?
So are these symbols, or at least these types of symbols, common to like multiple different cults, or is this a different chapter of the same
There
cult?
are some cult. Morgan has only really interacted with one cult.
Mhm.
While there are a few symbols that correlate between, most of the symbols are new. The big symbol, the one that Bart was drawing, is derivative of the big symbol that they found at the previous
Okay.
cult.
When you say big symbol, is there like a big symbol in the middle of the back of the robe?
Kind of, it's...
There was a clearly central to the design
Yes.
symbol,
Okay.
and it had. My research showed that it pops up in different iterations across different cultist structures and
Got it.
occult belief systems and those
Mhm.
sorts of things. Is what I remember.
Yes. And it is the same symbol that is seared into the back of the book that you guys found.
That's right. Did we bring that too?
Well, I believe
Oh, no,
Specs
we don't
is the
know.
one with the book, and the
No,
only
no,
other
no.
person who
Uh,
knows
I have
is
it.
Bart.
No. Bart has it.
And Lester. Would Lester like to have brought the book?
Say it again? I'm really having a lot of trouble hearing you guys.
Would Lester like to have brought the book?
That's impressive, Lexi.
It does a thing.
The cult book.
I'm not the one who had the book.
Unfortunately.
Okay,
Oh, wow.
so do you
Yeah.
want to grab it back
Okay.
from Specs or not?
Well, no, Specs gave it to
that's
Bart.
the thing I haven't
Oh.
seen
If
before.
somebody asked me for it, I would be interested in
Lester
coming along
would
with it.
mention it,
Okay.
but he probably wouldn't have taken it back.
Alright, so we'll say that you do not have the cult book.
Yep.
Alright.
Would Lester remember to mention that that book exists and had the same symbol in it?
I did just say that.
Yes.
I don't know
Okay.
about the symbol, but I can at least say also I had this. I found this book when I found the cool knife.
Perfect.
Yep, and the knife, so this is to tell everybody, the knife that you guys found is, one of you roll me, or both of you roll me a notice roll.
Meaning me?
Mhm.
Okay.
I believe you had a D.
Those
10,
two,
10.
or
Everybody who wants to, roll a notice roll.
ooh, no.
That was tragic. Tim, it went into my food.
I'm so sorry.
Rice move
I
there,
had
Dave.
like a.
It'll be a 9.
For notice, I think I had a D10.
I think
Yes,
it was
yes.
Yeah, I had. I
A
had.
D10 and a D6.
Yeah, okay. I need to remember which one of them is my D10.
What's nice about this table is that it has a raised lip, so you can just roll dice. We don't even need the
Alright,
trays.
so I
That's true.
got a 2 and a 4.
So you got
One success.
one success. So looking at the knife that Lester has brought, you examine it a little bit more closely, and tilting it into the light,
Almost there.
it catches it in just the right way that you notice that that symbol is carved into the ghost rock that is in the tip, in the pommel of the knife. And along the blade are almost perfectly hidden runes that match up with some of the symbols on the cloak.
I feel like a reasonable conclusion to draw from this is that they go together.
Brilliant.
I
That
think
does sound
that
like a reasonable conclusion.
that would be accurate.
That's probably
This
why
is
we
why we
found
brought it
them
in
in proximity to each other.
Alright, so
I got a raise.
Mhm.
So is that basically all I concluded as well? Is that wait
So
a minute,
that-
these match?
That was what you found.
Oh,
um,
was that wait a minute, these match?
Yes, also like the fact that the runes are hidden on it. So
Oh,
to
on the knife.
yes, to any other person who's looking at it, they just see a normal knife, a weird wavy knife with a bit of uncut ghost rock in the pommel. But nothing too arcane about it. It also has. I'll give you with a raise that it also has a weird feeling of hunger.
Hunger, you say?
Yes.
The knife is hungry.
Or the words are hungry?
Some part of it is hungry.
That's disturbing.
A little bit.
It just wants to consume evil. That didn't seem to help.
It's just a stand-up guy, you know,
Yeah.
absorbing corruption so
You
that the
said
rest
that
of
to
the
the
world
one
can
person
be
who
pure.
doesn't get the reference.
There you go.
Yeah.
Aha, fair enough.
All right. So, anything else you guys want to do in this tea house?
Do they have any lemon lavender cakes?
I was about to say, drinking tea.
It is a role-playing game.
Does Morgan know about the...
Yes.
Eating a lemon lavender cake.
Does Morgan know about the tobacco that was in the robe?
Oh yeah, we probably shared that. Unless Bart confiscated it. Then yes, we shared
No,
that.
I want information.
So, I'm guessing you'd like to look at it. Roll me a notice roll.
Okay. So that's the detail, yeah.
Yes.
Notice.
Wow. Okay. That one's going to be a 5. And that one's going to be a 3.
165.
The best that you can get from this is that it is not, in fact, tobacco.
Well, that's not tobacco.
Whoa.
It's so you can't identify the herbs that are in it, but through process of elimination, you determine that it is a rare mix.
Ooh. That's specific.
Mm-hmm.
That informs what I spend the rest of my week doing then, I guess. Because Morgan buys tobacco specifically to use to bribe people.
Mm-hmm.
I bet that works really well.
It does. I mean, Morgan also does very occasionally smoke, but it is mostly to bribe people.
Yep.
A good way to get information out of people is to say, hey, you want to take a smoke break with me?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
People relax.
All right. So, if that is something that you would like to focus on, I'm going to ask you to do a research roll, which I believe was D8.
Yeah, I think that I had pretty good.
I know for a fact that you had very good because we made sure that you had very good.
Alright, I got a 7 and a 3.
Okay. In your research, you find none of the shops that you went to sell this mix. That being said, you only really went to the middle to the lower class and lower to middle class shops. You were not quite able to get your way into the higher end stuff.
So we've, narrowed it down to where it must have come from. The nice area of town.
No, we're out of town entirely.
Okay.
Or out of town entirely, yeah.
So,
Or somebody made it themselves. It did say that the tomb was repurposed.
I did. With that, so as the week is drawing to a close,
I need to do a hat making.
again,
Did I already do that?
You already
Yes.
did that.
Oh, okay.
roll me a notice roll.
Okay.
Everybody?
Nope, just JR.
4. Theoretically a success.
So,
Technically a success. Or
in
ostensibly
a
good too.
on the morning, the day before, 2 days before the party, something catches your eye outside your window.
Yeah.
Looking a little bit closer, you see that it is a piece of folded paper.
Ooh. Piece of folded
Or-
paper.
Not paper, it's bark.
Ah. I will walk over to it unobtrusively and pick it up to look at it.
Okay. Written in Salish on it.
Bye.
Hey.
Meet me to the east, outside of the shelter of the man who took our enemy, on the night, after the night falls.
Okay. Do you have a paper pencil?
I have a couple.
Alright, so it's meet me.
See,
Meet me to the east, outside the shelter of
Here we go.
the man who took our enemy, after
I'll
night
read that.
falls. Bring anyone you trust.
Shit.
Does JR trust anyone?
That's the question.
That's a real good question.
About as far as you can throw him.
No, but he is also sensible enough to realize
About
that he
as far
does
as you
need
can throw him
help
with his
here.
right arm.
Which does in fact, hey, that's pretty far actually.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Well, it
got
would have to be
athletics,
far from the arm
athletics
as well.
D10,
Mm-hmm.
so I
That's true.
Anyone ever done shot put?
I was
Fastball
told in
special, let's
That is a
go.
one.
at
That is
shot
a one-arm
put.
It's a
throw.
one-armed event.
Yeah, getting it up and into position.
The one-armed caber toss would be more impressive in this, more
Yeah.
relevant to this, I think.
Yeah, probably.
So, on the day of the party approaches, on the day of Lester disappears.
Yep.
He mentions something about seeing you guys at the party and disappears.
hey, everybody,
I'm just holding it so that you can
Ah,
be heard.
and Morgan's not here, right?
Morgan is not here.
Okay. Because JR does not terribly trust Morgan. Sorta.
One second. You have an invite. The day before the party, you receive a letter from Mr. Bringham, the individual who you were contacted or who you got into the good graces of.
How did I do that?
Letting him talk your ear off, talking about rare books.
Ah,
You have
excellent.
been
That was the day that you bought all that tea.
Right, of course. It's hazy.
You blacked out.
Black tea, did you say?
yes.
You drank so much tea, you blacked out.
Okay.
You receive an invitation with the ability to invite a guest with you.
Yes, okay.
So you have an additional person you can bring.
Right.
Something else about that meeting is you have an audience with the mysterious party host,
Great.
which nobody else has really gotten any information on.
Okay.
But they might have books of Hoyle's games.
That's true.
They are a collector of rare books.
Yeah, alright. Sweet.
Good
Is
stuff.
there a question in here?
Oh no, I'm just letting you know that you have an invitation.
I have an
You don't
invitation
have
with
to
a plus
follow JR to this shady hill outside of this guy's house the night the night of the party.
one. Night of, yeah.
So you guys now have the address of the party because of that.
Great.
Good.
It is
Yeah.
in the mountains around the giant woods that you can see off in the distance.
Huh.
Definitely not relevant.
Nope.
Nope.
No. So anyways, everybody, Specs and, Everett and Bart, so my friend, who, told me specifically about the monster that needed, defeating in the rich guy's party, that you're going to. I've been asked to go, to meet outside the party with whoever's not taking your invitation, Bart. Yeah.
Okay.
Does anyone... Does anyone want to come with me, I guess?
You have a lot of very stealthy abilities, do you not?
Oh, I'm afraid.
In that you could come fully equipped in fancy dress and nobody would really know.
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
And Everett, no offense, Everett, but neither of us are particularly good at sneaking around.
I would call neither of you socially stealthy.
Yeah, so we're good at the sneaking around, but not the talking around.
And not standing out in crowds.
I can deal with
You're like 9 feet tall.
I can crouch, make myself out of your sight.
Well, we're not. If I'm going to a party, I'm not sneaking. I'm socializing. I can behave.
I didn't say you couldn't behave. I said that, the whole lying thing. We're,
We aren't good at it.
we,
Come on, man. You know this. What are you talking about? Gaslighting isn't real.
I hate you.
The coin was flipped, but I don't understand.
No, yeah,
what
you
the,
sure
the
don't.
lack of reaction.
We
was
got
like.
no information on what that outcome means for us.
And I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll be
It has
fine.
to do with Everett's lying skills.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, does it make sense to you for you to come with me?
So wait, I want to confirm this. We've said that we're going to meet on a hill outside the party?
They are.
I was asked to by the person who
Alright.
asked us to,
No, I'm asking you to
Yeah.
be my plus one
Okay.
to the
Okay,
party.
yes.
Coming in with
I
me.
think that makes sense.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Because-
that makes sense because you're.
because it sounds like I can't go to that meeting
I mean, you could, but you've got an invitation.
because I'm going to the party. But it also sounds like that is going to lead you to the party
Probably.
as well. So I'm not going in. We are not going in alone. Is this the sort of party where people wear guns?
Roll me common knowledge.
This is a time before metal detectors.
Yeah, well, this
Big
is
enough
also the
person in a
Weird
small
West,
enough-
right?
With a big
So
enough person and a small enough gun, all parties are parties where you wear guns.
With a big enough gun and a small enough person, they won't bother you about it.
Have a holdout weapon for when you're going to the casino.
that's a pair of fours.
If you have the right perks, all weapons are holdout weapons.
Well,
success,
Including that jack
yes.
laser rifle.
So you
For reasons.
probably not.
Okay.
This is a high enough society that this seems to be a high enough
Right.
society party that you don't think that they would let anyone in with guns. Any obvious
Yeah,
guns,
I-
anyway.
I hear how you said that. I don't think that my Colt Frontier is the stealthiest
You're
of
a
weapons.
Beastmaster.
You're not big enough to conceal that.
Right, exactly. Actually, small is one of my
Hindrances.
one of my hindrances. So, yeah, no, that's okay.
Time to see if carving runes into my finger to make my hand
drill
go-
a hole.
Time for my hex shot skills to happen.
It's okay. Worst case scenario, I can pull a JR and summon one just by sheer force of will.
Or alternatively, bolt, bang!
Yeah,
bang!
exactly. Kablow!
Yeah, that one.
Better if
What
fun.
for
if you just
everybody
like
to buy pepper boxes.
stole some of
Everybody else.
Yes.
I was gonna say I'm bringing a pepper box,
It's like-
but you know.
Specs' eyeliner and just
I'm using
write
a
the
pepper
runes
box.
on your hand?
Yeah, there you go.
you
Cheaper
don't
to
necessarily have to
summon.
carve them in.
Then the
Then-
purchase.
No,
Need a more
then
permanent
um,
solution.
a regular pistol.
Right.
Because
Alternatively,
when you
are
summon a
gloves
trinket,
part of my ensemble?
and
Oh,
the
that-
gun,
Mustang.
You gonna be in here with
Are
it
they?
comes
I don't
loaded with
Did
one
you
bullet
buy
automatic.
any?
No.
From the
You have to
I
spend
have not
extra
planned
to
ahead
get
for
it
it.
to,
I think I'm running out of time.
be a fully. We should have got it.
Well, Bart only needs one bullet.
It's true.
Bart doesn't need any bullets.
Bart doesn't actually need bullets. That's
No.
why I'm not really like, how am I going to bring my gun in? Because I don't actually need it. I prefer to have it. I do have skills for it, but that's why I'm bringing my gadget here.
Who might have a gun?
who has
I
a
don't know.
specific holster for several implements.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, didn't you
Spent
specifically get the name
downtime on
last
that.
episode?
Yes.
Look at these suspiciously dynamite-shaped holsters.
I don't know what you're talking
You
about.
can't look. Are you looking up Spex's skirts? You can't see those.
How dare you?
I was gonna say, like,
Omniscient narrators be damned. How dare you?
Specs and Morgan have access to the Victoria's Secret compartment.
Also,
That's
yes. Well, Specs is much smaller.
I despise men's dress clothing.
I mean, you could try and hide. You could try and smuggle something
I'm
in.
not gonna.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah, because I don't need to smuggle anything in. I mean, I probably would have a deck of cards in my pocket. You know,
Yep.
That's harmless.
of course.
Yeah, harmless.
JR laughs the loudest at that one. I like it. Click, Mahjong tile. Click.
I just
Click.
want to see, like, Lester at this party.
I know.
It's like, fuck you, Naruto orange suit.
There's two fuck you orange
Nerd.
suits.
Yep.
He
I-
did say
I
he'd be
wanna
there with
confirm.
belts on.
You're going down the hill in your orange suit, correct?
Yeah.
Of course.
So you
Well,
two are.
I'm gonna wear a cloak
Yeah, okay, yeah.
To keep your suit clean.
and also it'll be a darker cloak so that
The orange
The
is
orange on the-
negated.
yeah.
He couldn't have anything on him. He's in bright freaking orange. Who would have a secret weapon on them? They're bright freaking orange.
That's too obvious. There's something else that they're hiding. Okay, so the night arrives. This will take you guys a while to get to. In order to reach there by the allotted time, which is about sundown, you'll need to ride for... Because unless you guys want to rent out a carriage to go there, you will need to take your horses.
Horses.
Yeah, I'll probably ride side saddle with Bart. You have riding skill, right?
I have a really nice saddle.
No, that's just me.
Right, it's just you.
No, for real. I have a masterwork bridle and saddle, which gives me +1 to riding. So I would only be rolling at a -1.
I have
Are you
riding.
riding too?
I have D4 in riding.
Yeah, I remembered some of us
But
had
not
that.
-2 is really nice.
I knew it wasn't me.
That's why I took riding as well.
I'm not good at it. I just don't suck.
Yeah.
So the night comes. Oh,
Not
the day
sucking
comes.
at things, like basically not getting a -2 to your wild die is great.
Working so over the course of the day, everyone prepares for this party in their own special ways. Is there anything people would like to do before we leave the menu and continue on to the mission?
Yeah.
Figure out if I can effectively conceal my cult frontier in my dress clothes.
All right, roll me. What would be a good skill for that?
I feel like performance would be decent.
Yeah.
I was gonna go with survival.
Make your case, because I was thinking I could make a
Or
case for survival too. Or
Okay.
shooting.
I would make the case for survival or shooting because those are skills about, or stealth.
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 I would
Is it
do
stealth?
stealth.
Stealth itself
Stealth
is a good one,
actually,
That's what you're trying to achieve.
right? I'm trying to be sneaky and conceal a weapon.
My case for survival would be if you want to be able to carry as many guns as possible on the frontier, you would know how to get them into little places where they wouldn't
Even I have
be
stealth.
in the way of other things.
I will also.
Yeah, I'm used to rolling.
I will
deception,
I will
so-
also
They're
make
honestly
use
the
of my
same roll.
orange
Oh, so there we
cloak
go.
to conceal my gun.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
Oh, wow.
If only
Pennies
I
are
got to
made
use
to be
both
spent.
of them.
They are made to be spent.
8, so a success and a raise.
Success and a raise.
Because orange makes things really easy to hide.
One is a success.
You
Speaking of orange.
so you don't do that well. So you manage to hide it.
Yeah.
If someone is looking for it, they will notice the particular bulge on your leg.
Sure.
But a
have to see.
cursory glance will pass.
Imprinting, but not hard.
I finally
Exactly.
Got it.
got my Wii to be able
JR,
to
you got a
gauge
2?
8.
discs.
Success and a raise.
2 successes?
Nintendo.
All right, you do a better job. You
be able to do it
manage
myself.
to hide it on
Yeah.
the back, like on the small of your back.
I
It is-
make use of the silhouette change of the orange
Exactly.
to help hide the bulge
Yes.
from, like, perspective.
The only way someone will find it on you is if they pat you down.
Orange.
Orange.
Sometimes the best place to hide is in plain sight. So
Not quite that bad.
now that people are done preparing, as you head off to the party. These trees tower above you, possibly tall.
Tower above you.
Much like the maze dragons you've heard of, their existence, much like the maze dragons you've heard of their existence, but nothing can compare to the natural might slowly surrounding you. Their branches are cloaked in the evening's waning light, their shadows casting pools of inky darkness along the road. As you wind your way into the mountains, the sun swallowed by the distant horizons, the shadows of the trees envelop you in their cold grip as you venture deeper into the woods. So the road will lead you directly up to the front of the mansion.
Sounds great.
You two need to head off to the east at some
Stop.
point.
Go on.
Yeah, what is the style of this mansion?
Don't know.
He's eating things in my office, so.
Okay.
he's
Squirmy
just-
boy.
He is a squirmy.
Wrinkly squirmy.
So I'm going to follow with you guys first,
Alright,
and then we'll get to the party, and then we'll go back to them.
sounds good.
So you continue down the road. Is there anything you do to help light your way, or do you just work off of the light that you see in the distance between the trees?
Oh, I've got a lamp lit on the side off the saddle.
Okay.
Good. I have bad eyes.
So the lanterns light as though they are wandering through a forest of giants. The boughs above you are lost in the gloom, the stars struggling to glimmer through the grasping branches. What little light you shed, only highlighting the seclusion of the region you've entered.
Their message was to meet on the side of town that is in the same direction from town as this, right? Just not as
They
far
are
from town.
They are told to meet to the east of the mansion.
Oh, of the mansion. I
Yes.
thought it was
So
outside of
yeah,
town.
it's gonna be
Great.
It is outside of town. All of this is
Yeah.
outside of town.
east
gonna
of town, not east of mansion.
basically they'll
East
drop
of the
us.
mansion, yes.
Yeah, they'll
Good,
drop
so
off
they're-
slightly before us, basically.
They're close. I was trying to figure out how close they'd be. Closer than I was afraid they would be.
Yep.
Good.
Actually, no, wait. East of the mansion. So
We
you
try to
can
keep track of
further.
JR.
It will be further than the mansion.
So,
It's a good plan. It's a lot easier than keeping track of Janice.
Yeah.
it's the biggest house you've ever seen. Nestled in the hills of giant trees, the sprawling estate sits and glows. The massive building radiates light, each glowing window like the eye of a massive beast watching the land before it takes new territory. The lawn before the mansion is dotted with steam cars and other carriages. A massive tree is built into the corner of the house, its bark seeming to flow into the facade. So it is one of these redwoods is built into the corner of,
We need to get
of
different
this
coin.
mansion.
Each of the corners.
Just one.
The
Oh,
queen
okay,
keeps
that's fine.
coming up responsible.
Taking this seriously.
Like twice in a row.
So as you are riding up, there is
This character's supposed to be erratic.
there's a small line of people
It's
waiting
more
to get
erratic
in.
when you're responsible sometimes. Than
There
you're
are
really
some
erratic.
Yeah.
individuals that look like that come up to you as you pull up and ask you if they can take your horses
Really
to the
need
stable.
Valet parking.
Honestly.
Yes.
Because you never know when they might do something truly stupid.
Great.
What happened? Yeah. I'm assuming you valet park your horse.
Yeah.
Okay, so we get off.
All right.
Thanks.
Toss the keys to the horse to the valet.
With an ear.
Put the horse in valet mode.
So you get up into line, and as you are moving up, you see that there are some individuals that are watching everybody that comes in.
Security types.
While they are patting down people, they do their best to figure out if there's anything that they would be hiding, they ask them to turn out their pockets,
Hmm.
ask them to turn around.
They're being like searched.
Yes. This is a high society function. You don't want anyone seeing
Great.
anything in it.
Are they they're looking for cameras, right?
Who would try such a
No.
Who
thing?
would bring a camera?
Who would?
Someone who's looking to get a picture of the mysterious guy, right?
I mean, that's
They're looking for something. Who's to know?
Who's to say?
I'm fine. I cooperate with the search.
All right. So one of them comes up to you.
I don't
Pull
think
this
I
up.
have anything. I would have like a cigar and matches and my invitation and a deck of cards and my valet ticket. that I
So
can
a
get my horse
man
back.
with long hair, ruddy
Oh.
blonde.
Oh.
Sorry, a woman with long, ruddy blonde hair, a scar tracing her cheek up to her eye, comes up to you, looks you up and down, and says, "Turn out your pockets."
So I do.
Takes your deck of cards, flips it over, opens it up, kind of fans it out a little bit. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't have any. She hands it back to you. You don't want any trouble, but if we do, just know that if there is any trouble that happens, just know that there are people watching everyone's backs.
How very reassuring. Thank you.
She comes up to you.
I turn out the absolutely
has
goddamn
pockets?
tiny pockets on this goddamn dress.
It's still a dress. with
They
pockets.
exist.
It's still a dress with pockets because Specs is practical.
Pockets were bigger back then.
Yeah, they probably were. Not from this fancy one.
And does
it's
she have anything in her pockets?
a powder kit,
Mhm.
and she would have a comb.
Okay. She looks at these, she kind of pulls at the comb, sees if there's anything hidden in it, puts that back, opens up the powder, closes it, hands it back to you. And as I said to your friend, just remember that if anything goes awry, there are people watching everyone's backs.
Of course. And she gives a little bit of a curtsy.
Alright. So, where did I put that?
While you look that up, I need to go deal with chickens.
Okay.
Have fun.
The inside is even more opulent than the outside, if that's possible. Massive chandeliers hang from the ceiling, light reflecting and shimmering through crystals. Around the room are pedestals and plinths, displaying an odd assortment of items. In glass cases, just within the entrance along the hall, are things.
Specimens?
Thing.
Specimens, yeah.
Specimens or artifacts?
Specimens. There are artifacts that are in other cases around. If you'd like to roll an occult,
I
You
would
might be able to
love
identify
to
them.
roll an occult.
I forgot something.
Success.
Success. Alright, so, how many successes? Just one?
Just the una.
You are looking around, you see that there is a jackalope in one of the cases.
Uh-huh.
That is awesome.
It is small and dusty and brown, and its horns, they don't catch the light, but they are noticeable on the animal's
Can I
body.
offer you a nice egg in this trying time?
No, thank you.
One of them's blue. Two
dead,
of them,
man.
Two of them are blue.
Blue egg.
Dead man.
They sure are blue.
It flits around its encasement.
Wait, I'm sorry, it's moving?
Yes.
I didn't picture it alive either.
It
Yeah.
flits around the encasement and sniffs at the walls.
Oh, yeah.
It's within a
Specs is,
habitat
too short.
of sandy soil. And
I will give
rock.
this back when
Specs
you
is hella gonna stop at that for a second because Specs heard about those as a joke from her pa.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't supposed to be real.
Who's laughing now? Pa.
Well, apparently they are.
I'm intrigued by that as well.
Alright, so with that, as soon as Dave gets back, we're going to switch to the other group.
Noted.
Common
So
knowledge
also-
wouldn't help me with anything. Any of these displays would it?
That is not.
I just washed my spoon.
We'll see.
If you want a thicker
So there is more than just specimens in this hall. As you enter in, 2 winding staircases lead up to a second floor. Also, this is a three-story mansion.
you might want to clear up your
So there are
spoons.
2 halls along the side. In front of you is a curtain wall that you are unable to see beyond. 2 staircases lead upstairs to the second floor, and and looking around, you don't need to make a note as well. Looking around, you see that there are other displays of objects that
These more like
Are-
artifacts then.
yes,
Then
of artifacts that are
specimens.
laid on various plinths and displays, and along the side of the so following the curtained wall, you see that there are 2 hallways that lead down the side.
What was the thing that Specs saw that wasn't supposed to be real?
A jackalope.
A jackalope. Like a real one?
Running around its cage.
Like a live one.
Like
Oh,
a live
I've-
one.
Whether or not it's real, who knows? Could have been a mass hallucination.
Could be.
You're always saying that.
That would be even fancier than a real jackalope.
Right?
Or than a real jackrabbit with real antlers glued to its real head.
I mean, that
So
actually
we are moving
really
to
happened.
the other
Oh
group.
yeah, absolutely.
No, like, well,
Rabbits play the best pranks.
rabbits can get a cancer that causes them to
Oh
grow
yeah, they're
horns.
horrifying
Really?
Yes,
fungus horns.
that's
Yeah.
where the legend of the jackalope came from.
I did not know that.
If you look up the photos first, make sure that you haven't eaten recently.
Oh, I'm just gonna show them.
No.
No.
Please don't.
Alright, so
Curious.
you guys continue your way into the woods. I'm guessing that
JR picks a hill
Okay.
in the distance and goes
So
that hill.
you
Because the hill,
you are
blazed,
able
right?
to
Whoa.
so you work off, and after the
That's crazy.
after the light of the house disappears into the distance, you hear some noises up. You hear some noises in the distance. The rattling of branches and what can only be an intentional way.
Yeah. Hello.
They're karatas.
You walk towards, or you move towards it.
Yeah, I'll move towards it.
Oh, that makes sense.
Everett, I'm guessing that you have your lantern out and are following JR.
That would make sense. Oh yeah, I'm afraid of the dark. I definitely do.
So moving through these trees leaves large pools of darkness behind you.
Oh, right, I brought the guy who's fucking afraid of the dark.
How did I gain that?
Oh, okay.
Well,
That
I
is the result
it's
of
better
fear
for
check.
you. I mean,
Yeah.
of course, you brought
It
me,
was
the
one of the
person
ones
who has
that
the weird
made,
traps that you're afraid of.
Tim go,
The
I don't
person
want
that
to do
has
a
the
fear
weird
check.
traps
It'll
that
give
you're-
me a major
you're afraid of.
hindrance.
Yup.
They keep talking.
Because 3 of 3.
How's your
The
heart?
person who has the weird
Lately?
contraptions that you're afraid of.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Good enough.
So walking through the trees, you get the sense of something watching you. You are unable to pin it down, but these giants that surround you are, well, they're intimidating. As you reach the source of this intentional knocking, with the sound of displaced air, a creature maneuvers down the bark of the great pine. Its form only hinted at in the ambient light cast by your lantern as it hits the forest floor, making too soft of a sound for its bulk. Stepping into the light, a massive figure covered in dark brown hair, standing at least 8 feet tall, and it greets you in Salish. I see you have...
That's 3 good decisions in a row for Everett. I think that's a record.
So, Everett, you see why I didn't think your brother was a you see why I shot your brother, right?
That's
Yeah, right.
that's big.
Yeah.
I knew he was real.
Wait, you thought Bigfoot wasn't real?
I knew Bigfoot was real. Everybody else told me he wasn't, but I knew you're real. I called it. I knew it.
I want you to know I've
I
always been a
didn't
huge
tell you
fan.
he wasn't real.
I promised I wouldn't faint.
Exactly.
Instantly, I respond. My friend's
Big fan of your work.
a bit excitable when it comes to
Yes.
Don't say cryptids. Don't say cryptids. Don't say cryptids.
to unusual people.
That is understandable. Not everybody is prepared to see us.
Not everyone's hip
And
with the squad.
He's more too prepared.
That is a problem.
Huh.
I
This
agree.
This is a first.
He's pretty
But
unique in that.
anyway, the person that has taken our enemy is in the dwelling over there, and I can get. He looks at both of you. One of you in there. The other will have to. Even with my mighty bulk, I cannot carry both of you up the side of that building.
He says you're too heavy.
Didn't you just upgrade your acrobatics or whatever?
Yes.
Climbing one arm up the side of the building.
Too heavy for what?
For him to carry us into the compound.
I mean, how hard of a climb is it? I might be able to climb.
He says he's okay with climbing it.
That is not what I said.
It's a superpower. Correct. The ability to bend reality around you in real time.
JR is irresponsible with translating powers.
Yep.
Consistently.
Yeah.
Well, I can. He seems to be one of those. He seems to be up to the challenge. I just hope that you are able to blend in well and take down the adversary.
Of course. I hope so as well.
Now, if you will follow me.
Alright. This
He-
way.
He leads you off through the trees. I'm going to have you both make a stealth roll.
Alright. Hey, success.
Am I still the D4 or D6?
Good
Oh, it's a D6. I just rolled this check.
Yep.
Fuck.
Do you want to do another?
Oh,
I
no.
can't.
Alright, so. What happens as Everett attempts to sneak up on the big, heavily.
He drops his lantern.
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah. No,
Would that be audible?
Wait,
That's
the lantern
lantern's
fall
fire.
Isn't actually,
Yeah,
the
actually,
lantern dropping
right.
isn't actually the thing that
It's ever
Causes
plunged
problems.
into the darkness.
Yeah.
Oh,
coupled
there we
with
go.
a fire is now potentially
Well, if
starting.
there was a fire, then it would be nice. and
Fine,
light.
yeah.
it could
But-
just be like a
Wouldn't be the
contrary
Then-
thing you're afraid of
that
that.
Well,
blows
it's-
out the lantern.
Mm,
Right.
that too.
But if the lantern goes out on the way down, hits the ground, and glass shatters,
Mm.
then he's in the dark and your cover is blown. How ruthless are you feeling?
Well, I think it was everyone can propose a thing and then we vote.
Yeah.
I like that.
The lantern goes out and then it drops.
My suggestion was that it went out, not that it drops.
That's why I ask how ruthless we're feeling here, because.
I'm fine with it just going out because that's already a disadvantage.
Oh,
But we
okay.
failed a stealth roll.
Yeah, but
Or no.
the guy who's terrified of the darkness is now alone or is now in the dark.
Wouldn't-
But also, it is trying to be stealthy. I think
Yeah.
there's some merit to the accidentally
Yeah, no.
lighting something on fire.
You know,
Yeah, like
honestly,
you
that's
would
a fair
have to
point.
try to relight your lantern if it just went out.
You're right. That's
clinging to the side of a.
Yeah.
And then with the fear, and suddenly there's some underbrush that's on fire. Well,
So
not
I'm-
underbrush.
I'm going to say that the lantern, you drop the lantern. It
Okay.
goes out. It is not lit, but you definitely drop the lantern and a loud shattering sound happens.
Because now we can oppose that roll with notice. And maybe you're not completely fucked.
So at the sound of the shattering glass, 2 individuals rush out into the darkness.
Like
They are
condolences.
dressed in black dusters with white shirts underneath.
Classy.
One of them is a very large individual, burly and heavily built. As he's going in, what little moonlight is streaming through the trees glints off a pocket chain that is in his vest. The other is a smaller man with you can't really make much out about him, but he is wearing a glove on his left hand.
Can I
Metal alchemist.
make a deal? Can I make a
You
deal
don't
with the
have to
devil?
have 6
You
fingers
always
in
can
your
make a
right
deal with the devil.
So I want to make a deal with the devil because I do not currently have the ability to cast blind. But I would really like to cast blind.
That's what that's for.
Yeah.
So gambling and then spellcast. Yeah. That's a success.
Okay.
If you re-roll, does it work the same
I
way
can
as
do
pennying?
I got a free reroll that I can.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's explode that 8.
11 is
Two
can I see the
successes.
rule book because I don't remember how many.
2 successes.
You want
that?
That'll give you.
That's at least 6
One
cards,
extra
probably
card?
7 cards, I think.
Yeah, it might be 7 cards.
Ah, here it is. Oh no, that's. Two with a raise. So yeah, I draw 7 cards.
Mm-hmm.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on, deck, don't screw me now. Hey.
That's good news.
Yes, I think it is. I need this book because I need to see blind to know.
Allocate your power points.
Yeah, to know what I need to do for it.
Gouge their eyes out.
That's not usually a thing I need to worry
That's how
about.
everyone casts blind.
Shoot them in the face twice, once for each
One for
eyeball.
each eye.
Might be easier just to go in sideways, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I was gonna
One
say
go
if
with
you
that
do
one.
if you crit on your spellcasting roll, you get an oblique angle and you get 2 with 1.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually try to ricochet off the back of the skull.
You just want to blind them though.
In one eye, out the
Well,
other.
it would blind them.
I guess.
For the rest of their
Well,
life.
It would
I'm
only,
just
it
going
would
for
only
the
blind them in
efficiency.
one eye though. By the time it damages the other eye, they're already
You're
dead.
pretty dead. Fine. It's like I could cure your strep throat by pouring bleach down your throat, but I don't think that would actually help
Okay,
restore your.
so
Quality
it's going
of
to
life.
cost me 4 power points. 5 to make it hard. Yeah. So it's going to cost. So I've got 3 of a kind,
Nice.
which gets me 6 power points, and I am going to cast blind with area of effect, so that it affects both of them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's going
So
to be.
you will already affect both of them. It is a small blast template, I believe. So small blast template will affect.
I'm not seeing that.
Okay, never mind.
Make me think
All right,
of
I get it.
something
Yeah. So you're going
It
to
would be
affect
awesome.
So many things.
And I'm going to make it strong so that the vigor roll to shake off the effects is made at -2.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the last power point as a +1 on my spellcasting roll.
All right.
Nice. I didn't know you could do that.
Okay. is very handy.
My glass
Name
lamp.
book.
My glass
I
lamp.
am
Or
going to
you
hold on to
do
the
say
main
you
book
can't
for a
see without
second
my
because I want to
lamp.
describe what's happening once
That's
I cast the spell. But fair enough. Alright. I'm gonna spend a Benny here to see if I can get better. I cannot. Okay. I got a 5 on my spellcasting roll, which should be a success. So the those affected by this malicious power suffer a blurred vision or near complete blindness with a raise. So -2 penalty to all actions requiring sight. The victim automatically tries to shake off the effect with a vigor roll as a free action at the end of his following turns. Success removes 2 points of penalties.
How does this appear?
Uh,
What is the trappings of this?
Honestly, it just kind of feels like mahjong tiles are like assembling in covers over their eyes, but
Okay.
they're not just blocking the light out. They're sort of see through.
What the fuck?
I appreciate no body horror on that one.
No, their eyes turn into mahjong tiles.
Sumac, what the fuck is going on?
What?
I don't know, Oak, but we.
I'll show you.
The smaller one stops and takes out a Gatling pistol.
Oh, what?
Gatling pistol.
This seems like a reasonable response to this situation.
No, you're out there. Show yourself.
The other one's like, "Just in the wind."
You can't see us.
The burly one runs. The burly one.
Pitch black. Nobody can fucking see anything.
The burly one who was identified as Oak starts slowly moving back towards the house. Would you like to make another stealth roll to get by the man with the Gatling pistol?
Yeah.
Thought you were about to put it through again.
Spend a penny. Hey, 5.
5? Would you like to make another stealth roll?
Don't want to just traipse through.
There you go.
11.
Well, so the man with the Gatling pistol pointing out into the darkness you managed to sneak by him. He slowly backs up to the house, and after he reaches it, he puts it away, kind of rubs his eyes, and walks off in the opposite direction of you. So now you have reached the side of the house. From inside you hear the sound of music, the sound of talking, and light is emanating from very large windows. That being said, in between the windows is like rough wood. It appears to be
How much does that
made
cost?
from logs of the trees around it.
Alright.
So it looks like a giant log cabin. But the surface is rough enough that you might be able to climb.
Okay. So what I'm
Rocks.
hearing is I can do
Rocks tumbling down the mountainside says, "Are you ready?"
I'm ready.
So he lifts you up
I
and
can afford that.
puts you on his back.
I can afford that.
You're going to need to hold on.
I hold on.
All right. So he starts climbing. Make me a.
I don't distract you with shot.
Make me an agility roll.
Yay!
So you have reached the side of the building.
5. And
5?
my D10 continues to betray me.
So you aren't thrown off in going up the first 2 floors. So you have reached the side of the building.
Mm-hmm.
You can begin climbing or maybe work your way around the building to see what there is to see.
Does anyone communicate that to me?
No.
No.
But the individuals who were out in the darkness trying to find you have left and gone back towards the front of the house.
Take going to the cabin.
Yeah.
Or maybe under the table.
What is with you and putting your stuff in food?
I don't know, man.
Wow.
Oh, it's
where
over
did
there.
it go?
It's off to the right.
Oh, there it is.
Yep.
That's our level.
Yes.
Don't you know we're more important than you?
No. Without me, there is no story.
Alright, fine.
We climbing.
All right.
Did you finally make a bad decision?
Technically, I don't know.
Technically-
There wasn't really a bad.
okay.
There wasn't really a good
Unknown,
decision.
They were
here.
equally bad.
There's no good
Yeah.
decision here.
All right. Make me an athletics roll.
Oh, that's not an athletics roll. This is an athletics.
Where is
roll.
the wolf, by the way?
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably left her at home.
I just was like, wait a minute. You have a four-legged animal that is not good at climbing.
Not
Yeah,
climbing
that's
stone
true.
walls.
No, I probably would have left her at home if we were going to be trying to infiltrate the party.
And that would be something that JR would have communicated.
So you have 3 stories that you can work your way into.
Yeah. Andrew Bullywoggle or whatever it's
Assuming
called.
that you don't roll 2
Well,
ones.
it's not a crit fail.
Pennies!
Pennies are made to be spent.
It is a regular fail. Nice. Nice. 14.
So, when you were a child, you loved climbing trees.
Sure did.
This brings you back to that, and some of your previous experiences have helped you out here. You are able to keep up with the Sasquatch.
Damn.
You're gonna eat every single second of Bigfoot time you possibly can out of this.
I'm learning how to climb trees from Bigfoot.
Okay.
This is huge.
On that, we're going to switch
He
back
is.
to the other party members. Actually, we're going to switch to Morgan. So you have arrived at the party. You are let in. Are you trying? Okay, so you're at the door. The woman with the ruddy blonde hair is there. She looks you up and down. May I see your bag?
I give it to her to look into it. It does not have a camera or film in it.
Okay. She looks into it, shifts some stuff around, asks you to turn on your pockets.
I do.
What is in your pockets?
A camera and film.
No. In the pockets, I have more paper and more pencils, and also like some makeup, and a couple of like hard candies wrapped in wax paper,
Okay.
and also some tobacco.
Yep.
Which is not ladylike.
She takes these out, shuffles through the papers, hands them back. Hands you back the pencils. Opens up the tin of tobacco, looks at it, kind of pokes around it.
I also have rolling papers and matches.
Closes it up, hands it back, hands back your rolling papers, hands back the matches. You had some makeup, opens up the makeup, looks through it, hands that back. Now, you are here from insert newspaper here under the recommendation of insert person here.
That's
I
correct.
hope that you will comport
Comport yourself favorably.
yes,
Of course.
good.
Thank you
And-
for inviting our paper here.
Of course. And as everyone must know, your back is being watched. If anything bad happens, just know that you will be covered.
Thank you.
She lets you in.
I think that's the best one here.
As you enter, you are caught on the brilliance of this building. This is a
A lot better way to say this.
scene of opulence. The electric lights humming in most of the corners are brand new. You see that there are spotlights that are lighting up various displays around this place. There is even, in one corner, an elevator that
My Wii
is...
won't read Twilight.
Does the Wii do DVDs?
How did I watch movies all summer?
The
we did.
PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
That's right there.
I'm gonna take the PlayStation into the crafter.
The power cord should be right next to it.
So the opulence of this
You can get a home
space
program,
cannot
so
be
you
overlooked.
can play DVDs.
There are many people milling around. You notice a few that are very noteworthy. You are surprised about some of them being here, and there are some faces that you don't recognize.
I don't immediately run to the big names.
Okay.
I
Would you like to make a notice roll? So there are also displays of living creatures in, like just inside the hallway.
literally the first thing I'm gonna do is like make some notes of my first impressions because like I'm literally here to just cover the party,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
I probably will make a notice roll, but also one of the other first things I'm going to do is if there's anybody who is there just like standing there to answer questions, they're probably going to be one of the first people I'm going to talk to
Mm-hmm.
because they're going to have a ton of information about the building. So, I forget what I have for notice.
D10.
Originally completed in
D10,
1698. How grand.
Villa.
Villa, thank you. Edifice.
It's my Wi-Fi. The actual song lyric is "It's my wife."
All right, so I have
Also, there's my cat.
a
Roll that six
6 and a
Thank
4.
Roll that
So
6
you
again.
re-roll that
Oh,
six.
roll the 6 again. All right,
7.
It's a 7.
It's a 7. Okay.
That was the
So
iPhone decided to
you
itself
get about what
blast of
the
its
rest of the
battery.
party got. You notice that these displays have living
It does
creatures
that
within them.
when there's no
You notice that one is a
connected Wi-Fi.
jackalope, which
That's awesome.
you've actually
Searching.
encountered
Why am I
them.
still searching? 'Cause
Not
that's what
necessarily
drains the battery.
living, but while you were in the plains, there were a few people who claimed to have found a jackalope and kept their feet.
They
Kept
had
one
a
of their feet.
jackalope on the plane?
And that good luck charm that they had was surprisingly
Good at
effective.
fighting.
The other one is a seemingly beautiful, a smiling Chinese individual dressed in traveling clothes that is knocking on the glass and mouthing something at everybody who walks by.
Can I interpret what they're trying to say?
You can. Roll me language.
If I recall correctly, I had like a really good.
Do you know Thieves' Cant?
I don't know because my character sheet is missing. But I believe I had the linguist feature.
Hey!
So I think you had 6.
Do we? What
David.
die is that? Because I can't.
D6.
Okay, so that would just
No,
be.
Go by me?
no, it would be because I think it was half. So I think it was 4. So it was a D4, D8.
Okay.
I'm gonna
So-
say you have a D8 in language.
Okay.
That would be a
In the
D8,
language
yeah,
that you need, yeah.
Yep.
D8 and D6. Okay, so
'Cause
that's a 3, and that's a 4.
But 4 is a success.
So you
And
are
I
able.
do speak Cantonese.
You do. Well, you can't.
And then just use the HDMI from
Yep.
the Wii. Thank you.
Oh, is the
They appear to be
HDMI?
asking for money.
Doesn't have an HDMI port.
They appear to be okay. I didn't really bring a ton of money on me. I have my
Also,
checkbook on me.
also written on the glasses, "Do not feed."
Do not feed the Chinaman.
To me, that sounds like they captured a hungry ghost. That's like I'm gonna keep that thought to myself and not print it, but I'm like internally a little bit disturbed. I'm going to find somebody who's like telling the guests about the place, so that way I can listen to what they're telling the guests about the place.
So there are various people milling about. Additionally on plinths around the area are artifacts of seemingly random. There's
Blocks are off.
yeah, you can't really tell what they are from this distance.
Looks like
But
the stove clock says 8 and the...
someone is
Stove is
yes,
correct.
someone is telling
Okay.
the guests
The
about
microwave
everything.
runs fast.
I
The
write down what
microwave,
they
in fact,
say
runs
because
so fast
it'll be
that we
cool.
last said it in
You
like
walk up in
February?
middle of
It's
their
a half
speech,
an hour ahead.
and
No, it's still a half an hour ahead after daylight savings.
Wow, it's an hour and a half up.
Uh-huh.
and the
It's
owner of this
so much worse.
area, the owner of this mansion is a collector, as you can see.
Maybe.
Through many efforts and
Special question,
not
does it run
a
fast while
little
it's
bit
cooking?
of coin spent, they have acquired this
We don't use it that much.
collection that you see around you. And they are also a great hunter. You will later see some of their findings and rarest of specimens. You can see a few of them here on display. The more docile ones, but I hope you're ready for a fright later. It'll be exciting.
I get really excited, but I don't say anything because I don't want to interrupt. I'm just like writing it all down,
Yep.
like very obviously.
Oh yeah. So we are going to go back to these two.
So I'm dragging far between everything.
So you are going between all the artifacts.
Yes.
Um,
Slash creatures.
Give me a letter between A and F.
Q.
B.
B. B. A set of blueprints is propped up on a brass pedestal, hidden behind. All of this stuff is behind glass. A set of blueprints is propped up on a brass pedestal. Intricate lines draw the eye to the design, and within it sparks images and possibilities that spiral through one's mind. An indistinct signature rests in the corner. On a little plaque in front of it reads, "Arcane Blueprints, possibly from the desk of Dr. Hellstrom himself. Acquired, Millville Deseret, one of 4 known to exist."
Deseret?
Deseret.
Yes, that
Yeah.
is right.
That's right.
Hellstrom is in fact
I'm on
a
it.
spooky moment.
Does this connect to that?
No.
Does this one connect to that one?
Yes.
Thank you.
How about? Are you done? Let's do E next, but
E?
take your time.
Sure, but
Actually, is Hellstrom a Mormon?
how do I
If he's
react
from
to
So
Deseret,
this
he
is
Also, he's living
down
in
at the
Deseret. I
end
don't
of
know
the
if he is
hallway.
from
It's
Deseret.
called the Hellstrom
there
Institute.
is a wall on the other. There's
Okay, then probably.
I think.
yes, it leads to a wall. Along the side are various
Judge.
art.
The Hellstrom Institute. Is that where modern day Brigham Young University is?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm unfamiliar.
Salt Lake City.
Yes. Okay. So yes, it would be in there.
So yes, Hellstrom's definitely a spooky Mormon.
He's
So,
spooky and he lives with the Mormons.
You are down at the
Yeah, I
end
can-
of
I've got no
a
problem with the biggest
hallway.
Yeah.
Along the so facing down the hallway, along the right hand side continues the curtained wall.
Hmm.
Along the right hand side are windows and various pieces of art, as well as taxidermy on the wall. Nothing as fantastical as the live specimens you saw, but there are some impressive trophies.
Do I know what these Can I discern what these blueprints make?
Roll me a mad science roll.
Weird, that snaked.
Yeah, did you run into like spooky Hellstrom monks
Sure did. I
Huh?
still have one of those
Portland?
small statuettes.
in Portland?
I've got the Hellstrom arm.
No, we ran into like monks that believed in Dr. Hellstrom
Oh right,
in
yeah.
Portland, and they had actual magic.
Oh, I didn't
One
remember
success.
they had actual
One
magic.
success. You can.
They had powers that enhanced or caused weird science contraptions to go weird.
Oh,
So it is a device that will project an image into the air. This can be anything that you put into it, but it will create a nigh lifelike image of something. It's the illusion spell.
Yeah. This is fascinating.
On a stick.
After that, I mean, if you have something specific you want to go see, but otherwise, Bex is literally going to drag you to every one of these.
I'm
Until
fine with
someone-
going to all of them, to be perfectly honest.
And okay, so do you want me to just go through them all?
Sure.
Okay,
I
so
love museums.
Do you guys actually have remember what your mission was, or you just?
I have no idea what my mission is.
Did JR share that with the
yeah,
team?
I shared it with the team of like.
So
Yeah, that's right, because we identified a cryptid, or a
Yeah.
description of a cryptid, and JR got it super wrong.
Wrong.
Yep.
And was like, hey, I've been
at
asked
E.
by, a benefactor to
To find a skinwalker.
find a skinwalker and
Except we're looking for a Wendigo.
yeah.
Okay, so, but Bart knows that he went in here looking for
A skinwalker.
a skinwalker.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. The player didn't
Yeah.
know
It's
that.
been a while.
it has.
Yep. Also,
Okay.
you got here by finding out that they have rare books, and you are here. You're also really here for rare books.
Right, yeah. That I got earlier. But, okay, so, interesting. Alright.
Set.
So 4 playing cards are held up in a mannequin's hand.
This is really E?
Yes.
Wow.
On the playing cards are a 3 of clubs, a jack of spades, a king of hearts, and an 8 of diamonds. The back of the playing cards display an odd pattern that slides in and out of focus. One second seeming to hide a rictus grin, the other a laughing skull. The king of hearts the suicide king. His sword is entering his head, and you swear that the way the light plays off of the card, he seems to be bleeding. On the plaque reads... I forgot to write something. Playing cards from the famous Hoyle himself.
My name is Ozymandias watching.
Only 4 could acquire, and it says acquired 4 different places.
Believe it
4
before the same
of
deck,
13 known to exist.
Yeah, okay. I really randomly chose the Hoyle one?
Yep.
Wow. I am playing the right character.
And Specs randomly chose the
Yeah,
The illusion
the
magic.
blueprint.
Hellstrom blueprints.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, it's just a whole list, and half of them are Hoyle's games, and the other half are blueprints.
Still 50-50.
It's rigged.
Right, that's still, you were amazed by 2 coin flips coming up.
3.
Well, but yeah, we just got 2, so I was waiting to get to that.
Yeah.
So the next, another letter, give me.
A.
A. A vial of silvery liquid sits on a pedestal shrouded in glass. The liquid quivers at anyone's passing, seeming to tilt towards them.
Eat it?
No.
You swear that you hear the sound of a faint scream emanating from the glass.
I do not want that inside me.
Vial of silver terror, distilled by unknown means and purpose. Acquired, Nebraska, only known to exist.
Specs raises a finger as if to touch the glass, and then just like, no.
Yeah.
Alright, what's the next one?
See?
See?
Appreciate that you saw what I was doing.
2 silver-plated revolvers sit on a sheet of uncut leather. A black cat engraved into the ivory of their handles, with glittering emerald eyes, seems to watch the gathering.
Ooh.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Knew I something.
Gil, I hope you know how much self-control it took for me to not point out that you said unknown memes.
I did, didn't I?
And it really cracked me up, but I didn't want to stop progress again by pointing it out.
Thoughts unknown to man.
Mm-hmm. Acquired from Miss O'Rourke. Her custom-made pistols, lucky to some, unlucky to others. Acquired Boston, Massachusetts. Only 2 known to exist. The only 2 known to exist.
Alright. What is that?
D.
The Swift D.
The simple saber sits on a velvet plinth. The aged metal of the blade catching the light seeming to reflect a reddish sheen. A stain lays at the tip of the blade, as though blood had pooled there. The sword of Hernan Cortez, butcher of the Aztec Empire. Acquired, Madrid, Spain. 1 known to exist.
And then F.
A tarnished badge adorns a simple vest, displayed as though it were a point of pride. On the badge is a name, Wyatt Earp. It seems to have a weight undeserving of its size, a feeling of order and stability that only the best could bring. The badge of a great law people. On the plaque, badge of the great lawkeeper cut down before his time. Acquired, Louisville, Wyoming Territory. 1 of 30 known to exist.
1 of 30. More than you expected, isn't it?
Yeah.
More than 30 Wyatt Earp badges is a lot.
That's true.
Yep. Man, need to get a new badge every year, damn.
Cool.
So at this point, someone comes up to you and taps you on the shoulder.
Yeah.
I believe that you seen. Sorry. What's your full name again?
Cornelius Bartholomew. Record. Aloysius is in there too. A. Cornelius Bartholomew. Aloysius Cornelius Bartholomew.
Cornelius Bartholomew.
Yes, sir.
If you would follow me. And he leads you off and to the.
Am I tagging along, or have I been told to stay?
That was. I offered you my arm and we walked off together.
Alright.
Okay. So he leads you off, and you go up the stairs, up the winged staircases that lead up to the 2nd floor. On the 2nd floor, you are. Has a balcony that looks over the kind of central hall area. Again, the windows along, there's a wall of drapes that you see as you come up. They lead you off to the left-hand side of the staircase. There's another staircase leading up in the center of everything. And they get to a door with an unmarked door. It is older than this house should be, but it has a weight to it. They knock on the door, listen, and you hear, "Come in." They open it and let you inside.
Both of us?
Yes. With that, we're going to go to the rest of the other people scaling the side of the building.
Meanwhile,
So,
on a giant tree.
Make me another strength roll.
Alright. Our agility roll?
Yes.
Aha! Aha! 21.
You are able to hold on.
You were
Damn.
complaining about that D8 earlier, weren't you?
That D10,
D10,
yes.
D10.
It rolls two results, 10s and 1s.
10s and 1s.
One success.
All right. You are able to make it up to the 3rd floor, but that's as far as you're going. You're flagging at this point.
How many floors were there? I thought there were only 3.
3. But there's also the roof.
Oh, were we going to the roof?
I don't know. Were you?
I don't know. Were we?
So
I'm getting carried.
the Sasquatch makes it up to the roof.
You don't.
The windowsills here are not large, but you would probably be able to step onto them. Like they can fit the toes of your boots.
Mhm.
So you get up to the roof, and the Sasquatch kind of maneuvers around and gets you to a big bay window that is on the roof.
Alright. And it just overlooks like a room inside.
It inside is like, yes, it appears to look into a room or a hallway that leads off to the left.
Wait, so are they looking down a skylight or into a window? 'Cause
They're
if on
looking
the
into a
roof-
window. So, on the roof, on the front side, is a massive bay window.
Is it one of those like gambrel roofs that has a really steep pitch to it?
Yes.
So you can have another room up there?
Yes, it's the attic.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anybody inside the attic room?
Not that you can see.
Alright. I'm going to try and open the window without from this side without
Okay.
breaking anything.
Make me stealth.
Alright.
I should have done a detect arcane.
Success. 4 for success.
4 for success.
Yeah.
You manage to open the window. It creaks only slightly as it opens.
Yay.
Not loudly.
That's fine.
Okay, so now we're gonna go back
It's
to
dark and
Ever.
it's dark and creaky outside, so
How far am I from that window?
You are a floor down, and you would need to get up to the roof and make your way around a quarter of the building. So
Right.
you guys are on the
this
side.
is JR.
The window is here.
Okay.
So you're on the 3rd floor at a window, or in between windows here.
Okay.
There are 2 windows. There are windows leading into small rooms all around.
Wait, so is this like more of a sheer-faced building or more of like a ziggurat?
This is a sheer-faced building.
Oh, okay, so I'm just kind of like catching my breath
Yes.
on the side of a sheer-faced building.
Yes.
I'm not on a landing.
You are not on landing, but there are
Okay.
windows with window sills around that you could use to get in.
Got it. And I probably can't communicate with
You
Maybe
can
could
try.
Talk.
Psst.
Does JR hear that?
Roll me notice.
4 success, yeah.
Yeah, you hear it.
So I think he's trying to get. He only speaks English.
Sasquatch disapproves.
You any good with like Windows?
More of a Mac guy?
In what way?
Sasquatch is on Linux. He's a crypto nerd.
He's outside of
You
the
know, I hadn't really
convention.
considered about that.
Yeah.
He probably wants help getting inside, though.
Give me a minute. So the Sasquatch comes down and takes you and
Lovingly cradles you. Sorry, wrong meeting.
Wrong forum.
Yeah, exactly.
That's that one.
You imagine what it would be like to held by those big furry... Oh, sorry, wait.
The music changed right while you're doing that.
Bill's playlist is real good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Doesn't drop you down the side of the building.
Oh, good.
That's good.
Happy
It was
about
close.
Appreciate that.
It was close to 2 ones twice.
Oh.
Falls off the building himself, breaking his spine on the ground, crying out and loud. Guards come out, shoot him in the head, and leave.
Roll acrobatics. Good, you succeeded. You landed on him.
that.
He breaks your fall. You break him.
He breaks your fall. It is his last act as a living being.
How would you have felt about killing Sasquatch?
Quite bad.
Yeah.
So he
That would be a season-ending.
grabs you
injury.
by the back of your jacket and lifts you up as he climbs.
Mhm.
So basically, he lifts you up and sets you on the side of the roof.
Yeah.
You are going to need to shimmy around yourself.
Yeah, that sounds doable.
Make me an athletics roll.
Not feeling confident, huh?
That is a success.
Okay. You manage to make it to the window as well. Is there any... You enter with... JR in there. And before he leaves, the Sasquatch says to you, if you need any help, don't forget that you can call on me.
Much appreciated.
With that, he climbs up the tree that is attached to the house. And disappears back into the night. Morgan!
I'm mingling and listening to what everybody has to say.
Okay.
I'm like,
Mingle and
like
ready to sing.
Make me a common knowledge roll plus 2.
I think I had a D6 for that.
I think you had a D8.
Yeah, I remember
Because
like
you
I
were-
invested in that.
Yeah, you were like the best person to have that.
Alright, I've got a 2 and a 5.
Yay.
Yeah,
So
I'm chatting people up left and right,
Oh,
taking
yeah.
notes. If they are willing to be quoted, I write their name down.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these are
At that point,
Everybody's having a great time.
a well-dressed black man comes up to you. He, in his hand, is a cane with a claw on it.
if you actually want
He
to
is-
tie, you have to drink 2 or 3. That makes sense. If you just drink 1.
What the
if
fuck
you
did I
just
say
go
there?
into the bus,
He's
yeah.
tall, and you
I
recognize him.
wouldn't go drive. but-
It is
Wow.
Dr. Franklin
Needed to.
J. Tenenbaum. You wrote a story for him about his recent discoveries of fossils.
I'm so happy to see him here.
Didn't we read that article?
You did!
Yeah, we did.
And they mysteriously disappeared.
The fossils?
Yes!
They
leaving
did.
odd footprints behind.
It wasn't us.
There were also sightings of a large ape.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how odd Lester's feet are.
Miss Morgan, how are you?
I'm having a wonderful evening. How are you?
I am doing well. I'm surprised to see you here.
Well, I'm here representing like big name newspaper. The usual reporter in the area was unfortunately thrown from his horse, and he is anticipated to make a full recovery, but not in time to attend this evening.
Ah, unfortunate. I'm sorry to hear that, but you haven't happened to heard any news about my discoveries, have you? They disappeared not long ago.
I did hear about that.
I hope that they are not damaged in any way.
My hopes for their safe and speedy return.
If you wouldn't mind, could I introduce you to some of my friends?
Absolutely.
So he takes you over to a small group of people. In there is a man with white hair and mutton chops. He also walks with a cane. He is short and rather rotund. This is Gunther. This is Gunther Cotwaller. And to which the man replies, "Ah, thank you. It's nice to meet you. And you are
I'm Morgan Pennyfeather. I'm here representing Big Newspaper tonight.
Oh, that's wonderful. I believe you wrote the article of our good friend, Dr. Tenenbaum's discoveries.
That was me.
And then you feel a tap on your shoulder. You turn around.
I do first politely say, "Excuse me," and then I turn.
A rail-thin man stands behind you. He has long fingers, and they are never standing still. They are playing with each other. He pulls out a pocket watch and kind of rubs it between his fingers. And you are... I hear that you are one of those reporters.
I am.
Why are you here? I thought they'd sent a better person.
Unfortunately, the usual reporter for Big Name Newspaper was thrown from his horse, so I am here in his stead tonight.
I'm not sure if I believe you. I don't think you belong here. I really should have done this better. Fuck.
The music really does match, though.
And
Yeah. Oh, well, if you'll excuse me, I nod to the other group of people, because, like, Doctor has my contact information. I will literally just go find like, anyone else to go talk to.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So he doesn't follow you as you continue off.
Yeah, like, I have better things to do than cause a scene at this party.
So as you're walking around, you see some people... You see a couple of people smoking. And a few of them are smoking pipes.
I join them.
Okay.
I'm asking them about, like, how they're enjoying the party and what they've enjoyed about...
Roll me another
collection.
common knowledge.
Alright. I got one success.
Give me a number between 1 and 3.
Does it have to be an integer?
Yes.
I mean, reasonable question.
Is it?
But
well,
yes.
there's 1 and... Is it... So, I'm gonna go ahead with, I guess, 3.
3?
Yeah.
So this is...
What a sound.
Arthur W. Chasenfield.
No, I bet.
You don't know much about him, but he and his brother have recently come onto the scene as real estate investors. He's balding with only a few wisps of hair on the side of his head. He isn't very tall, but he also isn't short. And he has a very pronounced chin strap beard. Like, everything except for the mustache.
Okay.
You think it's gonna stop?
I am enjoying the party quite a bit. I hope that
It is
they don't allow much of the riffraff in. And it is always good to mingle with those of your stature. And then he looks at you.
You mean you people.
what do you mean, you people?
And
guess I'm the first
of
one to say
course,
that.
it is always lovely to be talked about in the local papers. I assume that you are taking the place of name here, as he was thrown from his horse recently, if I remember correctly.
He is. He's apparently making a speedy recovery, but wasn't in any condition to travel yet.
From his horse sounds like a euphemism.
Honestly, at this
It
point,
did
I'm starting to
happen.
think that maybe it didn't actually happen. Somebody tried to kill this guy.
It, like, My mom was
then
thrown
the
from a
professor
horse a
fell
few
down
years
the
ago,
stairs.
and it took like a couple years to fully recover.
Oh no,
Oh,
getting
yeah.
thrown from a horse is real bad.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
But the way everyone keeps saying thrown from a
Yes, he
horse,
was thrown from his horse, I heard.
it's starting to sound like a euphemism.
Yeah.
Yes, the one who was thrown from his horse.
No, it's a simile.
That was the best.
That was dumb, and I loved it.
You don't happen to have any tobacco. I appear to have lost mine.
I offer him from my tin.
Okay. He takes a bit, kind of puts it into a pipe, starts smoking.
I have broad appeal taste, but like it is slightly better than what you would think.
He takes a few puffs and
It's like very inoffensive.
he takes a few puffs. And looks at it. I'm used to a higher amount, but this will do.
They were recently released.
Thank you. And then he continues puffing away, and they
That's like 60.
talk about various things, business and the party, and how they got an invite to this place. It's nothing really exciting, just a letter in the mail appeared for them. But they oddly, interchangeably refer to the host as Mr. and Mrs. With that, we'll go back to Bart and Specs.
Mm-hmm.
So the door opens. You are let into a 2-story library. In this library, there are 3 pedestals. Well,
At the entrance.
Plinths?
there are 3 plinths, each of them displaying a book.
Their own book, or are they all holding up the same one?
They are holding up 3 different books.
It's an important
Different
question
books
to
or
ask.
3 different
Make
editions
me-
of the same book.
Make me a notice roll to figure that out.
I will also completely fail a notice roll on this.
That's a success. A 5. Can I have my... Doesn't matter. It's plus
What dice
2.
do you need, Steve?
D4.
D4 and
My
D6.
caltrop is not the. I've got the D6.
Hey!
What do you
caltrop
know?
explodes.
Exploding
That's
caltrop.
That's even
Ah, the
worse.
caltrop.
The caltrops are exploding.
Oh, the French.
2 success.
2 successes?
Yep.
You are, so yes, you enter there, and the first thing that catches your eye are these books displayed on plinths. Also shrouded behind glass. Each one is a different edition of a book that you are quite familiar with, and you have noticed around. Each cover is a different display, but all of them say Hoyle's Book of Games. You notice that so entering the room, the one to your left, so there are 1, 2, 3. Number 2 has the date 1823 on it.
Old. So I look at that one. Ah, it's held up quite nicely.
Is that the oldest of the 3?
I didn't say that.
That's just what Specs got with the notice
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You like my display? A voice emanates from an alcove that you didn't notice until now. The tree that this house, that has been growing up into the corner of this house, has an archway cut into it. From that archway walks out a person of indiscernible sex. They are dressed simply in a white, spotless robe and are of South Asian descent.
I must say, I was quite impressed with your menagerie out in the main hall.
Thank you. They are a collection that has taken a lifetime to find. These are an extension of that collection. I have more at my estate back home, but given this party, I figured I would bring out some of the best.
Ah,
I see that you are quite taken with that book.
well, it's held up mighty fine for a book that seems to be...
This
No.
book and they gesture to the book closest to them, which is number 3, has held up even better. It's from 1915. 1815.
Like, damn, that's a
From the
That-
future!
That would held up pretty damn good.
It's held up quite well in the time travel.
This one's
between
from,
World War One and time travel. This is a really good book.
This is from 1815. They say that, and I don't know if I believe this, but that these books, Hoyle himself was a madman, even claiming to have control over the arcane and the unseen world around us.
A very fine line between madness and genius.
Indeed. Indeed, they have. Some people say that the brilliant Dr. Hellstrom is both a madman and a genius all at once.
I know that many people will revere him quite highly.
Indeed they do. Some would say that he set the trend, but I don't believe it. I believe that genius crops up everywhere, no matter the color of your skin, no matter the race no matter your status in society. Unfortunately, I had to maintain appearances amongst my colleagues out and about. But yes, yes. And they take you on a tour of this library. It is crammed full of very rare books. Some of them are first editions, some of them are signed copies. In fact, they take you up a spiral staircase that is carved into the tree. In it are niches that also hold books in the spiral. And it takes you onto a second floor balcony that looks over this full library. And in the floor you see a symbol in a language you do not speak.
Do I recognize the symbol?
Roll me common knowledge.
Well, while that's happening, I think Specs will just say, it's quite the view of the sea of knowledge that you have acquired.
Yes, I love getting lost on that sea.
Was it a plaque or a...
Like, embedded into the floor.
Okay, it's on the floor.
Like
One success.
tiles, I guess.
It is in...
Like in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade when he finds the axe.
It is Hindi. You don't know what it is, but you recognize
The language family.
yeah. You recognize it as not arcane.
That was part of my question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you always keep your members of your menagerie on display in the entrance hall?
No, this is purely for the party.
Well, of course.
Admittedly, a fault of mine is wanting to display my collection as, well, I am quite the hunter of rarities.
There's nothing wrong with a little show-thumbship.
Indeed. And as I understand, you are a collector of rarities as well. We have similar tastes in literature and knowledge.
I would say so. I just want to hold them. I'm not picking them up for any reason, but it's not going well, so now it's a spectacle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna make a wrap for lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna eat my tomorrow's lunch for dinner tonight.
Indeed.
Oh, you forgot to make your pizza.
Yeah.
Very impressed by, well, volume for one thing. As a traveler, a bit limited in what I can.
Of course.
What I can
Good thing
maintain.
they understand puns in English. They understand puns in English.
It'd be even better if I was doing it on purpose.
Well, they laughed.
So that's why
It'd be
I'm now acting like I did it on purpose.
That's
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's particularly to see such aged copies of Hoyle's writing is.
Oh, you're a fan of Hoyle yourself?
I am fascinated by the prolific nature of his work, for sure. Finding differences between editions has become a bit of a hobby of mine.
Really? Well, I must say that the differences between these 3 volumes between some of his early copy in 1815, his, I hesitate to say mid-work, but between the 1823 copy and the third one that you breezed by, but I assure you is no less of an interest is the 1838 copy.
38? How old is yours? 43.
Any would be nice, but man, is it one of those particularly interesting.
Yeah.
I love that both of us are probably not at all competent for translating or for investigating these
Investigating
ones.
them. We did. It took a lot out of us
Yeah.
to get anything out of the 43 edition.
It's grid work.
If I may ask, what did Mr. Hoyle write about in the specifics?
It's always been a book of games, but every edition has different rules. Every edition has slight tweaks that you can only really...
It tells a story
tells
of
us-
the people.
Indeed, it tells a
play the
story
games.
all its own, and the slight rules change and wording is... Well, it changes the meaning of a book. I don't know if you've ever looked at the first edition of some of these books versus one that you can buy off a shelf, a penny a piece. They're quite profound. The meaning of every single word couched within the context of the page is different.
Specs kind of just nods, but has never had anything that she was certain was anything more than the second.
Mm-hmm.
The books in the cases, are they closed with their covers out, or are they open?
They are open. They are all open to the same page.
Why this page?
It catches my eye. It is one of the most different pages on each. As you can see in the 15 edition, the wording here is just different, and even from the 23 version. These two game rule sets are, with the addition of a few words, they just change how this point system
The
is
entire
done.
underlying
How-
structure of the game changes.
How the cards are dealt and how many you get. And in this one over here, the 38, it is different again. And the rules change from time to time.
Can I want to roll notice.
Okay. And after that, we'll go back to the attic boys.
The
Attic boys in the house.
You are in fact in the house.
After much struggle, you are in fact in the house. And can I have my +2 for research? For investigator?
If you make a persuasion roll first, because investigator to me says that you have time.
Oh, I can actually take a... Yeah, no, that's not what this is. That's not what I'm going for. But... That's 10, so I'll take 2
What are you looking for?
successes. Shit, I forgot to talk about that, didn't I? I want any subtext on why these pages, and if there is any sort of... I would be looking for, because I can only glance at it, but anything that would sort of enhance my powers, or...
Enhance your powers?
Yeah. Any of the type of information that I want to get out of the books. Given all the time in the world, I'd be looking to see if I could get. And also if there's anything in particular about these pages that will... What are we doing? We're looking for a skinwalker?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we probably... Or you saw it, I think, but we didn't notice it. It didn't sound like... Regardless.
I mean, the skinwalker's probably right in front of us.
That is how skinwalkers work.
But it's not how gender fluid people work, thank you very much.
But also,
I mean, it
Yes,
can be.
laugh. That was.
I mean,
It can be.
it's also
Don't be like
I mean-
spreading that.
yet further meta.
What's in my makeup kit is up to me. You know, that's between me and my kit.
I do love illusion magic.
So you, with that, you manage to, yes, you do find what you come to associate with the hidden messages in the Hoyle's Book of Games. You,
Authenticity confirmed. though.
yes, you are able to glean part of a spell from the page of the 15.
The first half of a riddle.
Mm-hmm.
There is one other thing before we switch that I do want to do.
Yeah.
Concerning the concept of the first edition, would you happen to have a first edition of The Merchant of Venice?
I do. If you would follow me, and they take you up the stairs and onto the second floor, where they peruse a shelf of books and pull out
I keep going.
a
Would be
well-worn
folio.
leather-bound. Well, actually, no. Yeah, what appears to be a hastily bound book. Upon carefully opening it, you see that it is actually a script for the play.
I linger by the displays.
Yeah, because the copy I have is a copy of the play, correct?
Correct.
I'd like to flip through the passages that I've read and the ones that I know are relatively meaningful to see if there are any differences or if there's been alterations to the one that mine has.
Alright, we're going to put a pause on that and go back to the attic, boys.
So my question is just, is the library started on the second floor, right?
Yes,
So the second floor of the library is effectively on the third floor.
it is.
Okay, cool. Not in character knowledge.
No.
They're scaling a different building than we are currently in.
No.
correct?
No.
It is one building. They are scaling the side of it.
Well, we're on top
We
of
have
in the
already
attic.
scaled it.
Yes.
Oh, that smells good.
Alright, so you guys are in an attic. It is quite dark.
That's a problem.
It is.
You can fix that
Keep that heart rate
Can
down.
I?
buddy.
if you have matches.
Probably have matches.
I have matches.
Lights up a cigar.
Yeah, that'll calm you down.
For a little bit.
So,
Till it hits.
Until it doesn't.
in this attic, it isn't like the whole thing. Entering in, to your right is a wall. To the left continues the room.
Is there a light coming from either direction?
No. There's a light from behind you from the moon, what little moonlight can get through the tree cover. And at this point, you cannot see any other light.
Okay.
I guess light a match.
Alright. You light a match, it lights up the space. There is
Kaboom.
some,
With gas.
there isn't much up here, mostly just tarps and a few trunks that aren't really left in any particular way. But beyond that, you can't really see because the room. Goes
I'm
around the
gonna
corner.
close the window behind us.
Okay.
Now that he's got a light going.
Mm-hmm.
Did I notice any lanterns or candles in the room?
You did not.
Alright. Well, I suppose we'd better get out of the attic so we can have a bit better light. Yeah?
Yes, please. We should do that right now.
Make me a stealth roll.
I'm gonna roll Benny. Cause I can. Hey, that's a success.
Ready made you spent.
I'm thinking about it.
And it's really funny when you're not as stealthy as JR. Your choice.
That is 2 3s. That's like serious dedication to the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
I think that means we keep it.
All right.
Where did that go?
You two make me a notice roll.
Me too?
And you and Specs.
Yeah.
Nah.
Nah.
I can't see it.
I'm
That's
currently
neat.
reading.
Oh,
Folio.
yeah! That's a 9.
So you hear some thumping above you.
Oh.
You don't know.
What it could possibly be.
Yeah, exactly. Your host also looks up sharply. If you'll excuse me a moment. They descend the staircase, and I'm assuming that you're on. No, you're down. You're on the second floor.
I'm on the second floor.
So they leave you, go down.
I want to do a better roll on looking at the books. Now that the host is not looking directly.
Well, the host leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even better. That takes me from notice to research.
Yep. So we're
You're
gonna come
unattended
back
in the
to
library, and you're just
Yes.
gonna read all the
Oh,
books.
yeah.
We're going to come back to that. So you guys continue on your way.
Yep.
Get out your notebook.
You get to
Start
the
coughing
end of
up
the hallway,
passages.
and it leads into like an actual room. In here, there's chairs. There are a couple of tables. There is
Any candles?
none that you can see.
How about a lantern?
Are there doors?
There. So in a corner, you do see the outline of a trapdoor.
Do I know what a light switch is, and are there any?
Roll me science.
Separate question.
For this time period, yes.
Don't
And
forget
JR
there's
is-
-2.
No.
No, you
And-
don't.
Was it a crit fail?
No.
That's a 2 and a 1.
Okay, so
And JR does not care. JR's like, ah, trapdoor, okay.
yeah, no. There's light emanating from around a trapdoor.
Alright, make a beeline.
I do
Okay.
like the way JR handles crises.
Just
get
right
through them as
through.
quickly as possible.
Yeah.
You open it up, it leads to a ladder that leads down.
It also does not hurt that JR is not afraid of the dark.
In
Yeah.
down below you is a room full of linens and clothes. It is the laundry.
Alright. Gonna close the trapdoor behind us.
Mm-hmm.
And
No rookie mistakes here.
whoa,
close the
whoa,
window?
whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes,
I
and
don't know.
also
May
yet.
have been dozing. Yeah. That may have been when I was dozing.
Quick pause.
Okay.
So at this point,
It is just about 9.
Yeah.
it is. So so you guys are down there. I'm just going to come back in because after the host leaves, about a few minutes in, a man with with splotchy scalp enters. He's wearing glasses and just kind of stands off in a corner watching.
No stealing the books.
Take it.
You're welcome to. So now you make that research roll.
Yes, but they're in cases, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Still.
Takes out a really long stick and attempts to flip the page.
A very long pair of tweezers.
If only there was some sort of mage hand.
Actually, you're right about that. I should look at real quick at my list of abilities.
I got that up for a reason.
Boost lower trait.
Telepathy, I think. it would be.
Telepathy does it, I'm pretty sure.
Well, yeah. Object reading. That's not actually.
I read the book with
I've-
object reading.
That's not that kind of reading.
I read the object. A book of
Telekinesis.
unfurls in front of you. Telekinesis would be it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey!
Would
I'm not.
the guard notice the book's pages
Well,
flipping
I'm
themselves?
so I'm going to allow this to be in between the time when the guard enters.
So I'm unattended for this.
Yes.
So yeah, we will go for that telekinesis.
And the curator returns to find all the books on different pages than he left them in.
Yeah, that's
Ooh, great.
the problem with Hoyle books.
He's a tricky guy. It's a
I
prank.
needed
Oh, he's a tricky, very tricky
the
guy.
powers list for.
Should be there.
Well, no, because that's the list. I don't know how many PowerPoints it takes.
Ah.
Yeah.
I apologize. That was
No, it's okay.
It's
Miscommunication.
in that book.
Yeah.
telekinesis.
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis. Seasoned. PowerPoint's 5.
5. That's not bad.
Don't need to worry about range.
5? Okay, that's more.
Duration
worse than I
5.
thought it was.
5 turns.
I feel like I probably don't have 5 whole turns.
Probably not.
Well, a turn. Actually, yeah, you would. 5 turns is
2.5 minutes?
no.
30
turn,
seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah.
I thought
A turn is 6 seconds.
A turn is 6? 30. Got it.
That's
So-
why you had 30 seconds to get Lester into the building with the dynamite
That's
and
right.
back out before things exploded.
All we
Yep.
needed was a distraction.
All we needed was for things to go mildly straight
10.
and not exquisitely pear-shaped.
It's the most exquisite pair.
I
It
mean,
was-
It really was.
It was a fair winning pair.
nothing caught on fire,
It
so
was a
it was
fair
a
pair.
good day.
No,
it was
it was
I
a
would
first
argue-
place pair.
I would
Wait, no,
argue
hang
that
on,
many
things-
things
Yeah,
caught
no,
on
wait,
fire.
hang on. Things that catch on
I
fire.
was gonna say
Okay.
you are in
This is
fact
my
the reason
gambling
that a lot of
roll.
things
Okay.
caught on fire.
Yeah.
Cast telekinesis to manipulate the books
Mhm.
in order to research the fuck out.
So you enter the in-between place that you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget, no spending bennies.
No, but I got an 8, so that's a raise.
It is. So you get an additional card.
So
So you enter the in-between space. The being that you've come to know sits across a table from you.
5 cards plus 1 extra card for success.
I
2 of the
sense-
raise plus
I
high
sense I sense a object of great power nearby.
roll. Yeah, we wanna take a look.
Of course.
How do jokers work?
Jokers
Is
can
there
be
anything?
anything.
I thought red versus black meant something.
They might.
Maybe.
Jokers are wild cards that can be used as any other card, and you get your Benny back.
Oh,
Did you get your
I
Benny
did
back?
not get my Benny back.
I didn't realize you got a joker.
I saw it just briefly.
I did not realize I needed to mention it.
That's amazing.
That is very amazing.
That's a full house, motherfuckers.
Damn.
Full house, you say?
Full house, I say.
10 power points, duration or effect doubled.
Woo!
Woof.
Woof. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, if only we weren't
That
doing
is
that with some
an
telekinesis.
amazing feature of this game.
Isn't that great?
Mhm.
I couldn't resist. So, yeah, you said 10 power points. You said it, sorry, you cost 5?
5.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm just imagining, like, with this epic music going on in the background, you
Rifling through the books.
just slowly
But
turning
still with the utmost care, because I don't want to damage it,
yeah,
because
no,
I'm
just
also
like
an aficionado on
slowly
top of
turning
it.
the pages so they don't crumble in your hands.
Epic research montage.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly.
So
I'm
all
kind of,
different
like,
camera
as much
angles.
As I hate to pull Marvel in, you know when Doctor Strange is like looking at all the features and he's
Mhm.
like kind of blurred?
Yeah.
What's this?
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Is it the top left?
I can't believe that your playlist just does this.
Mm-hmm.
It's really quite good at it.
I have this isn't the only time. Every single time that I set up a playlist, it does.
It picks them
Good.
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It really does. Yeah, so this will appear like I'm just miming, manipulating the book.
Yep.
And they're I'm assuming one book at a time
Mhm.
because I'm looking at them, but caster may release a victim or tool as a free action. Picking up a new weapon is a free action. Selecting a new unwilling target is an action. Caster may use tools to perform simple tasks or wield a weapon using caster's arcane skill.
Books willing or unwilling targets?
These books are willing. They want their secrets to be found, but you have to do it yourself.
So does that make them willing or unwilling?
Willing.
I mean, you're using them as intended.
Exactly. Great.
murdering someone with
So now I have to
sword,
do.
that's-
I have to do a spell casting roll.
Yes.
Yeah. So I
It's a
have.
book, you read it.
So
10
you can get plus.
sword, it
You can
cuts.
So you have 5
Are
power
you
points that
okay
you need.
with
Right.
fighting?
You also have
It's a
5 additional
sword.
power points that you can turn into a +5 for your roll.
Right. What are my other options with those power points?
Duration increase, but you also
It's like you're
have
losing more
a doubled
things.
duration.
Right.
It
So-
should be in here. Of
Now make a spellcasting roll at -2 for each rank. The power is above your current rank. If any, -1 for each power point you came up short on the last step.
so
If the hand gave you more power points than you needed, you may add them to the spellcasting roll to increase its total, or use them to recharge your regular power points for later. Cool. Critical
you
failure.
are veteran, which is above seasoned, so it isn't above.
So no penalty there.
Storage.
Okay.
More stuff like in the
All right. So we do my spellcasting roll,
Yeah.
which is a D8. So glad I have the D10 on the gambling there. And I will take the +5 because we already doubled the duration, and I'm going to run out of time in the real world rather than spell time.
Yep.
So here's my spellcasting roll +5. That's a 14.
14.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it goes off without a hitch.
9 + 4.
Makes it less likely that your foundation's gonna shift.
Woo!
And
Storage.
And so now I have to do research.
You are going to need to do an an occult roll.
Oh, shit.
Yep.
You could actually, I'll allow you to do research to memorize
Yeah,
the
okay.
pages of this game.
Thank you.
You will need to do an occult roll later.
Yeah, that makes
Okay.
perfect sense.
So, roll your research. I'm really sorry, guys, that I didn't
It's
get
alright.
that much to you.
It's fun to listen and watch this stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, this has been a really
And also-
fun event to just attend.
Yeah.
like we're sneaking through a mostly empty.
Your bad
Bunch
roll
of
just
corners.
bought me time to do this.
Yeah.
it did.
Exactly. So like
Teamwork!
Yeah.
Makes it
Thanks for sticking with it.
I'm an enabler.
you are.
I
Yes.
enable things.
Yes, you are.
You're a horrible, horrible enabler.
And I will get +2
That's
from
very,
this.
very
What you
good at
guys
it.
didn't
Always
like
have been.
is was having a
That
lot
was
more
cool.
fun talking to people before they started being racist in classes at them.
Oh.
Yeah.
so
This
like,
one I'm
all,
with Benny.
all of the suffering that you wish
That's
from
a 5 and a
supporter
4.
is happening, and this is their job, so they cannot just leave.
We're at the end of section. That's a 7.
In my
My
notes, I
current
did
best. A
sum up
9. That is a
their-
raise.
In my notes, I did sum up their entry a little bit
Last
more
one.
eloquently. They're here on behalf of a paper at behest of a patron.
On behalf of a paper at behest of a patron.
Good that JR
All right,
is not
yep, 9.
present for the
9.
For
the
research,
racism
yeah.
Okay.
going on.
So, you are
Somebody
able
racist
to memorize
Oh
this
no,
page.
she's not.
No, she's not.
Um,
She's Hispanic.
you
Yeah,
don't
she's
know
native.
what it is, but it is. Yeah, no, it's.
Right.
You're going to need to make an occult roll
Yeah.
later.
JR is weird about that.
Did Morgan Pennyfeather see Cortez's sword?
Morgan has been around the entire hall and seen everyone and talked to as many people who are willing to talk to them as possible.
So,
But
you
did
haven't
she
been looking at the
see
discourse?
Cortez's
I have.
sword?
Okay, so then yes, you did.
Yeah, Morgan has looked at like literally every display.
Okay, so getting closer to the the display with the smiling traveler in
I'm
it,
sneaking.
you read it as a Gaki,
Or me.
G-A-K-I.
If you need to call help right here, right now,
I mean,
you'd have
No,
to
no,
pull
you
me
are
away.
swinging wildly.
Yeah, but
through
you're
your
distracted.
best and worst days.
No, no.
Hey Dave,
I
your
know that
notes
you're not.
about like what people know. Everett doesn't know this, but Morgan did leave the Smiling Traveler as a Gaki.
G-A-K-I.
What?
That I didn't quite understand the context of the phrase "Smiling Traveler."
So the individual who was asking for money in the glass.
The person in the menagerie.
yeah, I don't know what a Gaki is, but okay. Like personally,
I
out
have a
of feeling,
feeling
I
it's
don't know
what
what
we're
that is.
actually looking for.
Yeah.
Thank you. Is this not to be opened until Christmas?
That is not to be opened until you get the occult roll,
I wrote down memorized in my inventory.
and that's what you got.
Okay.
All right. So with that, we will end tonight.
Alright.
Thank you all very much, everybody.
Thank you.
We will continue this
Stand it
in
right
2
back to
weeks.
you.
We will work on redoing your.
Yeah. The last place I saw my character sheet was at Tim and Vasily's apartment.
Yeah.
So it probably might even still be there.
I'll check.
About time.
Like,
So was it an ace or an
Really? It was an ace.
Just checking.
It doesn't matter.
Specifically an ace of spades.
Of course.
So what there's supposed to be is also supposed to be social combat, and I don't know.
I ditched that as
so
well.
I was not really in the mood for social combat,
Mhm.
which is why when you like set up that whole like that guy is being a dick to you, I was like, you know what?
That is a valid.
Let's distract him with drugs.
Let's just leave.
We do that every now and again.
Mhm.
What the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, basically. So
Yeah, I was basically like, I could make
Vasily,
a
could you
scene,
pass me that last
but like I'm
Oh, yeah.
literally an
Oh,
understudy
and
for that. Literally an understudy at this paper, and like, you know, to the point that Gil was making from some of the other patrons' reactions to me, like, not everybody's super fond of me, but like the reason why every one of my colleagues likes me is because I'm really fucking thorough.
We're good at your job?
Good at the job.
Don't make more work for other people. Yeah. Nice.
Which,
my
don't get me wrong, it's fair.
my
enough
other
to do
Joker,
social
my
combat.
other
I just
Joker was
want
on the
to
bottom
do
of the
a
deck.
little bit
No.
of-
No, I want to do social
There's
combat.
another
I
one.
just like today I was not for it.
So to be real quick, it is a Gatling gun named for its inventor, Robert